Hi everyone, today's video is obviously going to be about the new Lisa Eldridge Velveteen liquid lipsticks. I've already done all of the swatches on my lips at the moment. I'm wearing the shade Jazz. So I'm just gonna get on with it. The packaging, first of all, it comes in her signature white gold logo packaging again. The only difference between this and the bullet lipstick is that the bullet lipstick has this extra bit of cardboard. This is to prevent them from breaking because we all know they're a little bit delicate, they're a little bit prone to breakage. In terms of the actual liquid lipstick itself, gorgeous. I think this looks really luxurious. Gold cap, the gold initials as well, her logo on the tube, the product name on the tube, and on the bottom of the tube it's got the name of the liquid lipstick, and the packaging itself is basically really nice plastic frosted matte finish. So all of the lipsticks have an 18-month shelf life and they're made in Italy. In terms of whether they are cruelty free or vegan, go check her website. I'm not really quite sure. I think everything is definitely cruelty free, but I don't think every shade is vegan because I remember that from the eyeshadow formula. But please do not quote me on that. Please check the website. Let's just get on with the swatches. And here is the applicator. It's super soft. It does have an edge that helps you to get a little bit more precise. I also feel like there is a little bit of a dip in the middle that holds a lot of the product. The shade I'm swatching right now is Fawn. For pretty much all of these swatches, I'm doing the full swipe rather than kind of the fluffy look that you can see on Lisa's website, because I really wanted to compare the colors and see how they perform at full opacity. The color here is not completely dry. The color does change slightly when it is dry, but in the later clips you'll see what it looks like completely dried down. This half of my lip is completely naked, so this is just my natural lip color, and this side is the velvet liquid lipstick in the shade Fawn. I really love the shade. I'm going to put the lipstick on this half of my lips. I just wanted to show the color comparison of the doe foot applicator and the bullet lipstick itself. And again, I am applying quite thick. I'm really going for full opacity here to compare whether these shades look any different. The color does look slightly different, and this is what they look like on the back of my hand. So this is the liquid lipstick and this is the actual bullet lipstick, and you can see there is a slight difference. What I do have to say though is this has like so much more of that blurring effect is really obvious. Yeah, so here we go. This is the first shade, Fawn. Now I'm swatching a fair, again going full opacity. I have seen Katie Jane Hughes wear this on her Instagram and she does a more fluffy look, just blending it out with a brush or her fingers, which makes the shade look much more like a peachy nude rather than sort of this slightly more brown shade that it comes out as when you do it at full opacity. It feels super comfortable, it doesn't feel drying, and you can see my lips don't actually look dry either, they just look soft and blurred and cloud-like. So same story with a fair. I just feel like the lipstick, bullet lipstick here looks darker than the Velveteen liquid lipstick. And again, I do feel like the velvet has more of that blurring effect. Okay, and I just wanted to show you a fair. So this is the Velveteen liquid lipstick dried down, and this is the bullet lipstick. So now we're swatching Muse. I don't think Muse and Affair look that different, and I swatched Muse after Affair, and honestly when I was swatching Muse I thought this looks exactly like Affair, but obviously they are slightly different. I do prefer Affair because it's more peachy and it leans more brown, whereas Muse has more of a rose vibe, like rosewood vibe to it, so that it has a bit more pink, which I think is less flattering for my skin tone. Third row here is Muse. So again, this is Velveteen and this is a liquid lipstick. I haven't compared them side by side yet, but they look pretty similar on the back of my arm. Maybe the Velveteen looks a bit darker. So this is Muse side by side, bullet lipstick, liquid lipstick, and they do look pretty similar in my opinion. Maybe, I think just because of the shine, slight sheen with bullet lipstick, maybe it looks a touch lighter, but really I think the color is pretty identical. Because it's just matte, I think it maybe just looks a tiny bit deeper. And again, perfect blurring effect. I love it. And now we've got Rain. I absolutely adore this color because it's got a blend of warm and cool undertones and is a medium pink rather than a light pink. I just feel like this is so wearable for so many different skin tones, and I really feel like this color brightens up my whole face. I just love it. Okay, so this is Rain. As you see, I think in the bullet lipstick form it's just a touch brighter, but Rain in the Velveteen is another great color. On the back of my hand, so this is the bullet lipstick and this is the Velveteen. So yeah, you can see here it's really clear that this just has a little bit more depth to it. And now we've got the shade Blush. I've got to be honest, I'm actually not a huge fan of this shade because I think it looks a little bit too purple and a little bit too deep on me, and I don't find it to be super wearable. And I really hope you can see how easy and smooth and even all of these colours are going on. They really are just a dream. We've got the liquid Velveteen formula on the right and the bullet formula on the left. They are pretty much replicas of each other. And then on the back of my hand, this is like almost dry. You can see pretty much the same. Yeah, so this is Blush. It's still got that real depth on my skin tone. It does look pretty deep on me. Definitely more of a statement lip, not an everyday lip for me. Now we have Dragon. I was so excited for this shade. As I may have mentioned before, this is one of my all-time favorites from her entire collection, and I think you can see why. Dragon, I love this so much. Oh my god, it is just I love the color in the bullet lipstick, and I feel like in the liquid lipstick it's even better because of the blurring smoothing effect and the fact that it's so matte. Because I always thought that the velvet lipstick had a little bit of sheen to them, even though they were supposed to be matte. I think they were just a tiniest amount of sheen, but really this is completely 110% matte. And since it's such a strong color, I'm gonna do a little bit of a transfer proof test. So back of my arm, just do a little kiss. Nothing. I'm pressing quite hard here. Okay, when I press really hard, like the inner bit, you can see a tiny bit of transfer. I mean, that's really putting it to the test. Yeah, it feels so comfortable. Oh, just love it. Yeah, wow. These two are really pretty much identical. I don't see a difference at all, really. On the back of my hand, this is the bullet lipstick, so because it's got a sheen, so I think it looks a little bit lighter. And then the Velveteen looks a little bit darker. And here we've got ribbon swatch. I did find this one slightly trickier to work with, and I feel like I really had to do 2 layers, but it's that classic pillar box red, and it's definitely got a blue undertone, and I think in the clip, because it's got blue undertone, it's appearing slightly pink. And then the other half here is the bullet lipstick, and even on the back of my hand as well. So this is the bullet lipstick and this is the Velveteen liquid lipstick, and yeah, just they're identical on the lips. I definitely don't think you need both, but obviously if you're looking for a completely matte transfer proof red, then this formula is a really good way to go. Okay, so this is Velvet Jazz. I'm not as fond of this shade. I feel like you can see it is not giving me the best coverage. You see, right? It's a little bit patchy, right? I think maybe it'll be better if I just like kind of lightly buffed it in rather than trying to build it to full opacity. And on the back of my hand, it's not completely dry yet, but the bullet is here and the liquid is here, and I feel like they are very, very much the same. So bullet, liquid. I think the bullet looks a little bit lighter, but maybe that's because I put too much of the liquid lipstick on. And honestly, I feel like in the bullet formula, this color is better. because it goes on more smoothly. I feel like it's not giving me patchiness. I'm gonna try this color again. I'm gonna take it off completely and just do kind of like a thin one layer rather than thick 2 layers to see if it'll be a little bit better. But yeah, I'm not 100% happy with it right now, so let me give it another go. Also, I just want to note that it is becoming increasingly difficult to take them off. I've just been using this face cloth. It's pretty good at taking lipstick off most of the time. I just wet it, but for the darker colors I've really had to scrub and it's hurting my lips, so I'm gonna go actually use Lisa's cleanser to clean this off.
So you can see here, I just put in one swipe up and lower lip, then buffed it out with my finger. So this did make the application a lot more smooth and the color wasn't patchy. But obviously the color then, it's slightly different to where you get full opacity. What I find is when you're wearing a color slightly lighter rather than full, the undertone really comes through. So now it's looking kind of more like a cool berry shade than a dark red shade.
And yeah, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's not patchy, it's giving that same blurring, soft, 100% matte finish. Gorgeous. So I think for the lighter colors, it's okay if you go in full on swipe like I did in the demonstrations, but obviously with the lighter colors you can just do the swipe, blend. But for the darker colors, I think the swiping and blending way of doing it is definitely the way to go, and not the full-on swiping, because it will just get patchy and uneven. Okay, so I think from the swatch video you've already seen that I really like this new formula, and the reason why I actually wanted to buy these is because I love her bullet lipsticks, but you guys know from my videos that a lot of them have broken. And when I emailed the customer service team, they said that the reason they break is because of transport. For one of the launches, it was on first swipe that the lipstick broke. And for some of the older lipsticks, they broke later. And I think that's because I travel with them. So I stopped traveling with these lipsticks. But now I'm really happy that I have another formula that's super pigmented, matte, that I can travel with. Yeah, so really psyched about that, and the fact that it is transfer proof. So I'm just going to show you like nothing. The little spots that you can see here was from the previous test. Let me do it on the back of my arm again. Like, just there's like no transfer as well, and it doesn't feel sticky. It really just feels weightless. They don't feel drying. This formula is honestly amazing. This is very Korean makeup-esque, you know, where I think Korean makeup, Asian makeup, they've done this sort of formula for ages, where it's like a mousse. It also reminds me of the Cosmetics lip clouds. Super soft, blurred, matte, cushiony cloud sort of effect on your lips. The fact that Lisa's done this, I mean, Lisa knows how to formulate makeup. I'm really happy with the new purchases. And in terms of the shades that I think are like my favorite, I really love Rain, Fawn, Affair, and obviously Dragon and Ribbon. For some bonus content, I'm going to show you the shade Velvet Bloom. So before I put on Velvet Bloom, I just want to show you, I use Lisa's cleanser to try to take off the liquid lipsticks, and you can see Jazz is definitely stained my arm. I mean, I didn't scrub that hard and I didn't massage it in for that long, but it's definitely difficult to take off. The other side is mostly okay. It's just the shade Blush that stained a bit, and that's the shade Muse there, I think. Or unless that's Affair and that's Muse, but either way, they are difficult to take off.
I love a fresh velvet lipstick. They always look so beautiful. So this is the shade Bloom. It's described as a flourishy, nuanced pink red, inspired by the ruffled blooms of an azalea. And obviously you can pat it on or do a full swipe of color like I am doing now.
So this is the shade Velvet Bloom. It is giving me a little bit of Velvet Blush, a little bit of Velvet Rain, a little bit of Velvet Enchantment. So I'm gonna swatch a load of colours on the back of my hand and see which ones are worth comparing on the lips for. Okay, so these are the shades that I think is similar. So this big long swatch is Velvet Bloom. Here is Velvet Jazz, Velvet Blush, which weirdly looks like greyish purple compared to all the other shades. And this is Velvet Enchantment, Velvet Duchess, Velvet Rain, which I think will look most similar. That is kind of, when I saw the pictures on the website, immediately I thought this looks like Velvet Rain, and I think my instincts were right. And this is Velvet Cinnabar and Velvet Ribbon. So Cinnabar, I think it's out of running. I think I'll still compare Blush because I feel like it looks weird here for some reason. And Ribbon, I don't think really, I think Ribbon and Bloom is pretty different, but I'll compare the two. But I think I'm gonna just remove a Cinnabar and let's destroy my lips. So this is Velvet Jazz. Jazz is obviously a lot deeper. And this is Blush. Like, Blush looks so different. And just out of curiosity, I just swatched Blush lightly down here. And you can see it's still very different, so I'm not gonna bother putting down my lips. And this is the shade Enchantment here compared to Bloom. I think Enchantment is so far looking the most similar. Enchantment is that red but not red shade that's super easy to wear. It was one of my favorites from her last launch of Velvet. This is Enchantment. So these two, they definitely have the same tone. It's just Enchantment has more of a kick of red to it, and Bloom is just a little bit more muted on my lips. I feel like if you have Enchantment, you don't really need Bloom. They're pretty much the same. Okay, now we've got Rain here. So I feel like Bloom is basically a mixture of Rain and Enchantment together because it's not quite as bright as Enchantment, but Bloom is brighter than Rain. So if you mix Rain and Enchantment together, you get Bloom. And maybe Bloom is one of the shades that Lisa was playing with during, like, for her last launch, but decided not to launch, and now is releasing as a limited edition to celebrate her store in Selfridges. That's what I think possibly happened. And lastly, we've got Ribbon compared to Bloom, so definitely red versus more of a pink, very obvious. That is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please subscribe if you haven't already. And I know even though I upload very sporadically, I hope when I do upload, you enjoy my videos. And if you did enjoy this one, give it a like and a comment. That would help me a lot. And I will see you very soon. I am still editing my merit video that I recorded back in March of my first impressions, but obviously I've been using all of the products for a while now, and yeah, it's good. Basically it's good. You'll see the first impressions video soon. And I do have the new setting spray and the cleanser. The setting spray is amazing. The mist is like phenomenal. I don't have any problems with it, but one of my followers did tell me that when she sprays it on a bare face, it does sting a little bit. And she says she's got very sensitive skin, but she is able to use it as a setting spray. So for all of those of you out there with really sensitive skin, watch out. I do have eczema patches on my face, but I don't find this spray to cause a problem. The cleanser, excellent. Been really loving it. Yeah, I don't think I'll do a video on those just because I feel like, I don't know, they've been out there for a while. They're technically not makeup, but I do really, really like them. Anyway, I have rambled on for a while. I forgot how much I enjoyed doing this. I feel a lot better now. I did not wake up feeling great, but I feel way better now. So yes, anyway, bye.